What's going on, y'all? GeoFucks, Psych Perspectives. What's good? I just want to talk about, as you get older, things change. Your mindset change. A lot of the stuff that you used to go for or support and believe in, you may not support and believe in anymore. You might not be as open-minded or as liberal as you were when you were younger. You might actually start being a little more realistic with a tad of pessimism, just being honest. You might be pessimistic with your realistic. And it's weird because it's like the older you get, the harder it is, at least in my case. What I'm learning for myself is the older I get, the harder it is for me to be optimistic about a lot of stuff, because it's like, been there, done that. You've lived through it, so you already know pretty much what to expect. So in other words, don't get your hopes up. And that's really sad on one aspect of it, but then on another aspect, because you're being realistic with a touch of pessimism, you're prepared for whatever is thrown at you. You're not sitting around here dancing in La La Land 24/7. So I say all this to, let's talk about relationships. So I remember back in the day, and back in the day for me is 5 years ago. You feel me? 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm 26 and a half. I'll be 27 in October. So 5 years ago, I was 21 and a half. I had a totally different mindset when it came to relationships. Back in the day, I wasn't interested in being in a relationship, being tied down, committing myself to somebody, opening up who I am as a person and expressing that to another person. I wasn't interested in that at all. Now at 26 and a half, things have changed. I think in the future, I would like to meet somebody that's on the same page or similar page and, get to know a person, spend time with a person and be authentic, open, and honest with each other, be respectful and mindful. But at the same time, I'm not trying to rush. I'm not trying to rush into anything, and I mean that. I'm not trying to force anything. Things have to go with the flow. I mean, at this point, because I learned from last year and previous experiences that you can't force anything. You can't make people like you. You can't make yourself like somebody. It's either there or it's not. And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's not meant to be, oh well, chuck up the deuces, heal, forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and move on. Because it's just not worth going all out of your mind and getting all off your groove for somebody that doesn't feel the same way about you in the first place, or for somebody that is emotionally unavailable or immature or toxic narcissistic. So I'm thinking about that. And what brings me to this is, when you get older, your social media changes, your timeline changes. Things that you used to not really pay attention to is now put in the forefront. So now as I'm getting older and getting closer to being 30, I'll be 27 in October. You might as well go on and say I'm 3 years from hitting the big 3-0. So now that I'm getting closer to being 30, what I'm personally recognizing is that people are getting married. People have been getting married. One of my good friends got married 4 years ago come July. And at that time, I was 22 and a half. And they were already getting married, and they had already been together with their partner for 4 years before they got married. So, and then after that, my other good friends got married the following year in August of 2016. So I've been around people who have been in, long-term relationships, committed relationships, people who are engaged, people who are married, people who are going to be getting married, people who have children or are planning on starting families. Like, I'm around that, and I've been around that, and I've always kind of been the lone wolf and just kind of being like, screw love, screw relationships, right? Because, again, those of you who don't know yet, I'm transgender, transmasculine, FTM, female to male. So being trans has also kept me from like engaging in those types of really deep, real, committed love relationships, because I've always just kind of been like, well, I'm not even honest and open with myself, so how am I going to be honest and open with somebody else? Since coming out the closet in October of 2018 and living openly and doing what I need to do to transition and be free, a lot of these things have been coming to mind, like, okay, so now I'll be getting ready to start HRT, hormone replacement therapy, soon, like within the next week. That's how soon, so I'm excited about that. Getting my name changed, gender marker changed, like so much stuff is going on. And I've been in therapy and counseling this whole time, so a lot of these thoughts are now coming to me, and it's like, wow, where previously I was just kind of like, I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, and there's still a part of me that feels that. But then there's another part of me that's like, well, because I'm stepping into being my authentic self and being open and honest to myself, I can be open and honest to others. So there's also this side of me that's like, there's hope for love, for relationships, for commitment, for a real significant other, to actually build with somebody. Now, when it comes to having children, me personally, I'm looking at getting a hysterectomy, so I personally don't see myself having my own biological children. I may adopt a child, something like that, be a foster parent, perhaps, but I don't personally see myself, just because, number one, I don't identify as a woman, so I'm not interested in giving birth. Number two, I don't see the point. I mean, there's so many children who don't have families right now, who are going without right now. So it's like, what is the point for me to be procreating when there's kids out here who need resources, love, and support now? So, and then three, another reason why I haven't had kids is, I'm sorry, but this is just me. I have yet to meet somebody that's on the same level, that wants to do the same thing, or, we're bonding and we're growing together. I haven't met anybody like that yet. And then I'm not ready to be nobody's parent. I'm enjoying my life. I'm just now getting to be myself. So I'm not trying to put my life on hold for a kid and for a family right now. It's just not where I'm at. So, and I wish more, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm far from it. But I wish more of us would be honest about that, because I see a lot of people, i.e. a lot of our parents, who, instead of being open and honest about how they felt and what they wanted, they just went out here and had kids they couldn't take care of and had no intentions of really taking care of, and dumped them off on foster care, the state, grandparents, other family members, and it just causes turmoil. If you're not ready to be committed and you're not ready to have a child, then don't have a child and don't be in relationships. All you're doing is playing with other people's emotions and hurting folks. But anyways, let me know what y'all think. Because, I just think, again, the older you get, a lot of those relationships that you used to not pay attention to, or things that you did not pay attention to, they start becoming reality as you get older. So